So I told you I was going to talk to you about my favorite book, Unwind, by Neal Shusterman. And so I will. That's a poster of the sequel signed by the author that one of my followers gave to me, and I am in love. Meara, what is Unwind about? Well, I'm going to tell you what Unwind's about. In summary, in Unwind, it's a dystopian novel after the Second Civil War called the Heartland War, and it was over abortion. And they come to the conclusion that, you don't really know. People say, who knows, this kid could be the next president, but you're aborting it. So you don't really know the potential of your child. So what they decide is between the ages of 13 and 18, if your child proves that they're not worthy of living and you didn't really want them or you don't want them anymore, you can get them aborted, essentially. It's a post-birth abortion. But it doesn't kill them. What happens is the parents sign off their kid to the government, and the child becomes property of the government, the teenager, and they get sent off to a harvest camp. And at this harvest camp, the kids are taken apart, and they're essentially organ donors. 99% of the kid is used, so then they're not dead. It depends on how much money you have, how good of parts you get. If you're poor, you can get an asthmatic lung. If you're rich, you can get a quarter of a brain. And the book follows three main characters. Connor, whose parents signed an unwind order for him, and then Risa, who was in a state home. If you aren't worthy of being alive, there's so many kids in state homes that they have you unwound. And she's a pianist, and she wasn't good enough. So she was sentenced to be unwound. And then there's Lev, who is a tithe, where his parents had 10 kids, and they are giving the 10th kid back to God, which is tithing. So Connor gets away. His thing creates a ruckus, so Risa gets off her bus and gets away, and he kidnaps Lev as a human shield. His kids are out in the world trying to get away from being unwound. I'm not going to tell you what happens because that's the point of the book. I want you to read the book. It's really interesting. It covers different moral debates, such as abortion and souls, adoption, and there's just a bunch of other things. You should read it because it's awesome. It's getting turned into a movie. It's part of a trilogy. Unholy just came out after I waited 5 years for it because I read Unwind in 7th grade. There's a really active fan base. We're a small fan base, but we're really active, and the producers are kind to us. There's boards, unwindmovie.com. Unwind is like the plot twistiest of a plot twisty books. And then Unholy is more plot twisty than that. I don't know, they're just my favorite books. And yeah. So I recommend this book for fans of The Hunger Games, Divergent, Percy Jackson. If you like Percy Jackson, you'll probably like it. I haven't read any of those other dystopian books. It's just one of those kinds of books. If you like those books, you'll like this book most likely, so you should read it.